These are the times referees ruined the NBA. Starting with Damian Lillard wanting to throw hands at the ref.
With Portland down 2, Lillard splits the D, drives, and looks like it should have been a goaltend. It should have been a goaltend. No call.
To the last play of the game, and they miss an easy call. And then they tell us it's an easy no call. Like that was obviously not a goaltend. It cost us a game, man.
And even the Jazz knew that was a bad call.
I think that's all I got.
That's why one ref took matters into his own hands and got some revenge at number 12.
Able to race it down. And contact made. Joe Crawford.
That's how LeBron must have felt when the refs decided to swallow their own whistle like a corn star.
James on the drive, gets in the paint, layup, missed it. And the game is over. Lakers furious, they thought he was fouled. LeBron James so upset.
Oh my God, the refs just broke LeBron. Even the biggest hater has to admit that on this drive, Bron's skin got slapped harder than a virgin who's home alone. Pat Bev even had video evidence in 4K, and Jayson Tatum had to cap harder than a dude with a bald spot after the game.
I don't really know what happened. I gotta watch the game, watch the film, because everything was just happening so fast.
The crew chief calling the game later admitted that they got the call wrong. But that's not changing a damn thing, bruh. The Lakers still ate the L. The only thing that made this easier to swallow was that it was a regular season game. But how do you miss this and a whole shoe at number 10? With bath salts, Russell Westbrook went up against a Greek pre-freak Giannis. The game was tighter than a college student's budget, coming down to the last few possessions. But after Russ tied the game up, Giannis had the ball in his hands and made a move to the basket to win the game. There was just one problem.
He's out of bounds.
Clearly, he stepped out of bounds.
His freakishly large size 16 shoe was on the line, but that didn't stop the ref, who was just standing right there, from completely ignoring it. Just like the time the refs decided to do a Bird Box challenge. Remember that movie? Rockets, Warriors in the West Finals was an all-time classic, and it was ruined by Chris Paul's hamstring. Damn, dude's just allergic to winning. But the two teams had another memorable showdown the following season that went to overtime, with the score all tied up at 132 apiece. KD appeared to make a crucial save so that Steph could put Golden State up 2. But look again.
It's Durant. Makes a move, lost the ball, tries to get it, saves it, saved inside, outside Curry. 2.
Bro's ashy ankles were clearly in the yellow. So when the Zebras didn't even bother to correct the call, ref's best friend James Harden let the Bird Box memes fly. That was a brutal call, but it wasn't as bad as the time a team was just given free points. Since the Cavs and the Hornets were asked at the time this happened, not many know about it, and that's the way the NBA wants to keep it, because there's no explaining how a missed three-pointer after the whistle was already blown should count. Even the announcers were confused AF.
I mean, almost as a practice shot.
Exactly.
JB is going bananas, and rightfully so. I mean, that wasn't a 3 during play.
Speaking of confusion, I didn't expect to see Tim Duncan getting kicked out of the game just for having fun.
There he misses the free throw, and a technical foul called. I think it's on Tim Duncan sitting on the bench. Somebody on the bench for the Spurs. Yep, it's Duncan.
I mean, that's madness. He wasn't even laughing at the ref, but the ref didn't give a He threw Timmy out for laughing on the bench and then asked him if he wanted to fight. I mean, what kind of issue is that? And Tim never laughed again. But there was some justice in the end, because the ref got suspended indefinitely and made to watch an infinite loop of Tim Duncan highlights. Alright, that last part wasn't true, but what is true is how Draymond started his villain arc.
Last year in the Philadelphia uniform, crushed the Warriors. Draymond Green, his first NBA basket, and it's a 3, and he gets a taunting technical after he makes the shot. He will not forget his first NBA bucket.
This is unbelievable.
Now, Donkey from Shrek's loud ass getting teed up is understandable, but a player getting attacked for just clapping is not.
Tatum was mad at himself for missing the layup. They clapped his hands, and the officials gave him a tee. Come on. Players could be upset that they missed a layup.
What? I mean, why, man? Does the ref have PTSD of what Tatum did to his wife's cheeks the night before? I mean, I just don't get it.
I just don't get it!
Just like a player who made the most clutch shot of his life until the refs ruined everything.
Davis at the buzzer. No, yes, no! It's waved off! Bernie Fryer says no! He was waving immediately. It was so close. My goodness. Bernie Fryer says no.
In 2002, the Hornets and Magic faced off in the first round of the playoffs, which during these prehistoric times to a Gen Z was the best of 5 series. So every game was even more crucial, just like this game-winning shot during a tie game.
Davis at the buzzer. No, yes, no, it's waved off.
Yeah, except the refs waved it off and the game had to go into overtime instead. Now the Hornets still ended up winning the game and the series, but B-Dot was straight up robbed of NBA glory. Just like the Suns, who got jacked out of the trip to the finals, all because the refs allowed the NBA to become the NFL.
And here is Nash being chased. And oh my God. Ori sent Nash flying and Bell goes at Ori. The Suns did not appreciate the foul.
The body check had Steve Nash cooked, but it also changed the whole series because the league office handed out suspensions stiffer than a trucker at a strip club to every player who left the bench, including Amari Stoudemire, which killed the Suns.
Did anybody leave the bench off this melee?
Oh, you see Stoudemire coming into the play, and the coaches sending he and Boris Diaw back to that bench area. The question is, were they on the court or not? And you talk about a young mistake. If indeed Stoudemire was on the floor, which looks like the league will have to look at very closely, and that could cost Phoenix Amari Stoudemire in Game 5.
With their high-scoring starting center suspended from the next game, the Suns never recovered and ended up losing the series in 6. One might argue that the letter of the law was followed here, but more aggressively than a honey badger in heat. But that still didn't stop the refs, because they let a player still play even after he fouled out. Losing your best player with less than 3 minutes to go in a close game would affect its outcome. And the refs told D-Book, "I got you, fam."
Oh, kicks it back out. Pass deflected and stolen. 3-on-1 for the Bucks. Holiday fouled by Booker. They didn't call it. That would have been his 6th foul. How do you not call that foul?
And if you're Devin Booker, how are you about to take that foul?
He held dude like he was Kendall Jenner in Game 4 of the NBA Finals, and it wasn't called. The refs ruined not just a game, but the most important series of the entire season. Fortunately though, not even the refs' world-renowned ability to make calls could exercise the curse of CP3 that ended up dooming the Suns in the end. The only thing topping this is the time a ref hated an NBA player because he looked like Drake. Fred VanVleet knew that Ben Taylor hated him. Every time they were on the court together, dude called 5 out of the 8 techs against him throughout the previous season. But after the last tech, Fred had enough and called Taylor out after the game.
I mean, I don't mind. I'll take a fine. I don't really care. Ben Taylor was terrible tonight. On most nights, out of the 3, there's 1 or 2 that just the game up.
I thought passion was a part of the game. I thought emotion was a part of the game. You can't sit up there and let somebody make that kind of decision without giving them a technical foul or, dare I say, ejecting them from the game. The referees aren't completely culpable in all of this. The league office has definitely given them that power and encouraged them to make some of these calls as far as I'm concerned.
Predictably, the NBA didn't like questioning the IQ of the Zebras and slapped him with a fine of $30,000 for his post-game diss track against Ben Taylor. However, even the league had to admit that Taylor was out of bounds here and got him demoted. So while the ref may have won a battle or two, VanVleet definitely won the war. But maybe all of Fred's fouls would have never happened if he had a little luck on his side, like these other NBA players who made some of the luckiest plays in NBA history. Just click on this next video right here, or it'll be 10 years of bad luck for your favorite team.